Why is it that we sit down to study or work, but within minutes, our mind starts wandering? Have you ever tried to concentrate, but your thoughts keep jumping from one thing to another? Why is it so hard to stay in one place, mentally, even for just 5 minutes? Think about this. You're holding your phone, trying to read something important, but suddenly you open another app, then another. Before you know it, 30 minutes are gone. Does this sound familiar? Here's a simple example. Imagine a candle in a quiet room. If there's no wind, the flame stays steady. But if the windows are open and air keeps rushing in, the flame flickers, sometimes even dies out. Our mind is like that flame, focused when it's protected, scattered when it's exposed to noise, distractions, and inner restlessness. Welcome to this life-changing series, focused like never before, on Wisdom Woven. This is not just another motivational video. We are diving into the timeless teachings of Buddhism to discover how to build deep focus, calm the noisy mind, and truly be present in life. There are so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% subscribes. So please, if you're here and finding even a small value in this, like comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. It helps us continue sharing ancient wisdom from modern lives. Focus is not a talent. It's a practice. The Buddha knew this long before modern science proved it. He saw the mind as something that could be trained, just like the body. But unlike lifting weights, this training happens in silence, through awareness, breath, and patience. In this series, you'll understand how the smallest moments, like watching your breath or listening deeply, can shift your focus forever. Buddhism doesn't teach you to escape the world. It teaches you to be fully present in it, sharp, aware, and at peace. Let's begin this journey together. Stay with us till the end. It's going to change how you see your mind, your focus, and your life. Focus like never before. Sit down, close your eyes. Try to focus on your breath. One breath in, one breath out. Now see what happens. Thoughts appear. They come fast, one after another, like waves in the ocean. You remember something. You plan something. You worry. You dream. You try to come back to the breath, but your mind keeps pulling you away. This is not your fault. This is the nature of an untamed mind. In the old Buddhist texts, the mind is compared to a wild elephant. Imagine a huge elephant, strong and restless, running through a village. It destroys things, throws people aside, creates fear. This is what our untamed mind does. It runs wild, out of control, and pulls us in every direction. It's not focused, it's not calm, and it's definitely not at peace. Now, imagine that same elephant, trained, calm, still. It stands tall, powerful, but in control. That's the power of focused mind. Buddha taught that the mind can be trained just like that elephant. Not by force, not by anger, but with patience, repetition, and gentleness. Let me tell you something honest. You don't need more time. You don't need more motivation. You don't even need more knowledge. You need more presence. You need to learn how to be where you are, fully. And that starts by understanding your mind. Look around. Everyone's in a rush. People walking, but not really walking. Eating, but not really tasting. Talking, but not really listening. Their body is here, but their mind is somewhere else. This is the untamed elephant. You see, we live in a world full of noise. Phones buzzing, screens flashing, thoughts spinning. And this constant noise makes your elephant run faster. But here's the truth. You can't fight noise with more noise. You can't beat distraction by force. You win through awareness. So how do we tame this wild elephant? The Buddha gave a beautiful method, mindfulness. Mindfulness means simply noticing what's happening right now, without judgment, without reaction. You sit, you breathe, you feel the air, you hear the sounds. You don't fight them. You just notice them. You don't run behind them. You don't push them away. You say, there's a thought, and you return to your breath. Slowly, the elephant begins to settle. But don't expect it to sit in one day. This takes time. Imagine a young monk sitting under a Bodhi tree. He watches his breath. He hears the birds. He feels the ground. And he does this day after day. That's how the Buddha trained his own elephant. Let's be clear. Taming the mind isn't about stopping thoughts. You will never stop thoughts. It's about not being controlled by them. You might still get angry. You might still feel fear, but you'll notice it. You'll see it rise and fall like a wave. You won't react blindly. You'll respond with awareness. This is what real power looks like. Most people think focus means staring at something hard. No, true focus is soft, steady, like a gentle flame. It doesn't shake. It just stays. In ancient times, monks were given a simple task. Watch your breath for hours. Sounds boring, right? But that task is like lifting 1,000 mental weights. Every time your mind wanders and you gently bring it back, you build strength. You become more aware. You become more stable. You become more focused. One monk said, watching the breath is like sharpening a knife. You don't see the edge at first, but keep going, and one day it cuts through everything. Let me share a simple practice with you. Sit still. You don't need a special pose. Just sit. Close your eyes or keep them half open. Feel your breath. In and out. That's it. Thoughts will come. That's okay. When you notice you've wandered, smile gently and come back. That's it. Do this for 5 minutes a day. Then 10. Then 15. Don't rush. Don't force. Be patient. Over time, you'll notice something amazing. You'll be able to listen without needing to reply fast. You'll be able to sit with someone without checking your phone. You'll be able to stay with one task without needing a break every 2 minutes. And when life throws you problems, which it will, you won't react in panic. You'll respond with calm. Here's another thing. A wild elephant doesn't just hurt itself. It hurts others too. When your mind is scattered, your relationships suffer. You speak without thinking. You listen without hearing. You miss the people in front of you. But a calm mind brings connection. You begin to see clearly. You begin to feel deeply. You begin to love wisely. This is not just about focus. This is about living fully. Zen teaches the mind is everything. If you can control the mind, you can control your world. But don't expect perfection. There will be bad days. Days when your thoughts are heavy. Days when your focus disappears. That's okay. Be kind to yourself. Come back again. Sit again. Breathe again. Remember, the elephant may be wild, but it's not your enemy. It's your companion. Your mind can be your best friend if you treat it with care. In this journey of focus, the second step is simple but powerful. See your mind as it is. Don't pretend. Don't run. Watch it. Understand it. Train it. Because once the elephant learns to walk beside you, you won't need to chase life. You'll walk in peace. Focused. Clear. Awake. That is the way of the Zen Master. That is the path of the Buddha. And that is how you begin to focus like never before. Focus like never before. Sit down. Breathe. Now tell me, when was the last time you truly focused on just one thing? Not your phone and your work at the same time. Not eating and watching a video. I mean, only one thing. Your breath, your food, your steps, your thought. Hard to remember, isn't it? Let me tell you something old. Something true. In the teachings of the Buddha, there's a word, dukkha. It means suffering, stress, unease. But dukkha doesn't always come from pain. Many times, it comes from being pulled apart. Distraction is not harmless. It's not just something that happens. No, it's a thief. A quiet, clever thief. It doesn't take your money. It takes your presence, your energy, your time. And what is your life made of? Time. Let me explain this simply. Imagine your mind is a bowl of still water. Now, imagine you drop small pebbles into it every few seconds. Each pebble is a distraction. Social media, random thoughts, background noise, overthinking, regrets, worries. The water is never still. Can you see your reflection in it? No, it's blurred, shaken. A distracted mind is like that. You can't see clearly. You can't focus. You can't even feel peace. Now listen closely. The Buddha taught that everything starts from a mind. Your words, your actions, your habits, your future, all of it grows from the seeds in your mind. If your mind is scattered, your life is scattered. If your mind is disturbed, your choices are confused. So what do? We start seeing distractions for what they are, little fires. Each distraction burns a little bit of your calm, your focus, your strength. And if you don't notice, Soon you're living in a wildfire, wondering why everything feels so fast, so heavy, so out of control. Let's look at a simple day. You wake up. What's the first thing you do? For many, it's reaching for the phone. Messages, notifications, news, likes, drama. Before your feet touch the ground, your mind is already racing. Then you try to meditate, or work, or study. But your mind says, wait, what if someone texted me? What's trending? Let me check just for 1 minute. That 1 minute breaks the flow. You return, but you're no longer deep. You're at the surface now. This back and forth, it tears your focus. It also creates inner agitation. You may not feel it clearly, but it builds up. That restless energy becomes stress. And that stress becomes unhappiness. The Buddha used a beautiful word, T, movement of the mind. He said that unless we learn to still the tis, we will always be chasing after things outside us, never feeling whole, never feeling enough. Distraction is addictive. The more we feed it, the stronger it becomes. Just like a monkey jumping from branch to branch, our attention jumps from one thing to another, never staying still, never knowing peace. And in Buddhism, this is called monkey mind. The monkey mind is not evil. It's not trying to hurt you. It's just untrained. It's scared. It wants to feel good, feel safe. So it runs toward pleasure and away from pain, over and over again. But here's the truth. Chasing distractions doesn't bring safety or peace. It only brings more chasing. Real focus begins when you stop running, when you sit with yourself, when you notice your breath, when you notice how quickly your thoughts try to escape the present moment. Let's say you're working on something important. Then suddenly, your phone vibrates. Your attention moves there. Then it moves to another app. Then a video. Then a comment. Then you remember something else. Now, 20 minutes are gone. You return to your task, but it feels harder now. You're drained, not refreshed. This is the price of distraction. Now let's take another example. You're eating a meal. Instead of just eating, you're watching something, replying to messages, scrolling. What happens? You don't taste your food. You overeat or rush. Your body eats, but your mind is not there. This is disconnection, and this disconnection grows suffering. The Buddha didn't teach to live like a robot. He taught us to live fully. That means being awake to the present, being fully alive in each breath, each step, each moment. But how can we be fully alive if our attention is always somewhere else? Let me share a small practice. Next time you drink water, just drink water. Don't check your phone. Don't think about tomorrow. Just hold the glass, feel its coolness, watch the water move. Take a sip slowly, feel it move down your throat. This is mindfulness. This is the beginning of breaking the cycle of distraction. Each small mindful act builds your ability to focus. But it's not easy. The world is loud. Everything wants your attention. Everything says, look at me. This is urgent. You need this. But you don't need all of it. Most of it is noise. And you must protect your mind like a gatekeeper protects a temple. In the Buddhist text Dhammapada, it is written, not by silence alone does one become wise, but the wise one, who watches and guards the mind, that one is truly wise. Distraction weakens you. Focus strengthens you. If you want peace, you must become selective. Learn to say no, not just to people, but to random clicks, endless scrolling, junk thoughts. Remember this, attention is energy. Where your attention goes, your life flows. If you spend it on noise, your life becomes noisy. If you spend it on growth, your life grows. And yes, you will be tempted. Your mind will resist. It will say, just one more video, just 5 more minutes. Smile at it. Watch it. Don't follow it. This is the beginning of training. We don't fight distractions by force. We defeat them by awareness, by catching them early, by choosing presence. Over time, the monkey mind calms down. It stops jumping. It learns to sit. And when it sits, oh, how deep your peace becomes. You begin to feel clear, light, awake. This is the path. Not dramatic, not loud, just simple steps again and again, until stillness grows deeper than noise, until focus becomes natural. So ask yourself each day, am I feeding my distractions, or am I feeding my peace? That question, if asked with honesty, can lead you to a different life, one that is not full of noise, but full of meaning. We'll continue this journey step by step. For now, just remember, every distraction you overcome, even a small one, brings you one step closer to a mind that is free. Breathe, smile, stay present. The world may keep calling, but you don't have to answer every time. The art of mindful attention, being here fully, come close, and sit quietly. You are not just watching a video, you are entering a moment. And if you truly give yourself to this moment, it may change the way you live the rest of your life. You've heard people say, be present. You've heard it in books, in speeches, even in ordinary conversations. But have you ever asked how? How can I be present when my mind is always running forward or backward? How can I truly give attention to now when now feels boring, painful, or unclear? Let me tell you something simple but powerful. You do not have to fight your mind. You only need to start watching it. Watching, not judging. Watching, not forcing. Just gently observing. This is the beginning of mindful attention. Let's take a simple example. You're drinking tea, steam rising, cup warm, a small sip, but your mind? Already thinking about a meeting, a problem, a message you forgot to send. Now pause. What if for just this sip, you feel the warmth of the cup in your hand, the texture of the tea on your tongue, the breath that flows in and out while you drink? That's it. That's presence. In Zen, we say, when drinking tea, just drink tea. Not while scrolling, not while planning, not while wishing things were different. Just drink. And when you do this, your attention becomes like a calm lake, not stirred by every wind, every stone, every shadow. Still, clear, focused. Do you know why our focus is so weak? It's not because we don't try hard enough. It's because we try to do too many things at once. We don't realize that every moment asks for our full presence, but we give only half, or less. We eat while watching, work while worrying, listen while thinking of our reply. This splits the mind, and a split mind is never at peace, never truly focused. Buddha did not speak about focus the way modern people do. He spoke about right attention, right mindfulness, right effort, not to become a productivity machine, but to live fully, to experience each moment as it really is, without the dust of distraction. Now I want to give you something practical. Start here, one breath. Yes, just one. Take it now. Inhale slowly. Feel the air enter your nose, your chest rise, your belly expand. Now exhale slowly. Feel the body soften, the mind settle, the thoughts pause. This is not magic. It is not new, but it is forgotten. When you give attention to one breath, you train the mind to stay. And with time, the mind learns to sit like a dog that once ran wild. In Buddhism, we call this anapanasati, the mindfulness of breathing. Buddha himself taught this over 2,500 years ago, and it still works. You see, attention is like a muscle. If you never train it, it will remain weak. But if you give it small, consistent practices, it becomes strong, steady, sharp. Here's a little practice for you. Try it anytime, anywhere. The 3-second pause. When you're about to switch tasks, pause. When you're about to speak, pause. When you feel overwhelmed, pause. Just for 3 seconds. Feel your feet. Feel your breath. Feel your presence. That pause, so small, cuts through the chaos like a sword through silk. Now, let's talk about listening. Listening is a powerful practice of attention. When someone is speaking to you, do you truly hear them? Or are you planning your answer, thinking of something else? To truly listen is to bring your whole self into that moment. Zen teaches, when someone speaks, become an empty cup, empty of judgment, empty of noise, just open. If you live this way, people will feel something strange around you. They may not know what it is, but they will feel heard, seen, felt. That is the power of mindful attention. It transforms not only your focus, but your relationships, your presence, your life. And what about work? Even sweeping a floor becomes sacred if done with attention. In a Zen monastery, sweeping is a meditation. Washing dishes is a meditation. Because anything, when done with full attention, becomes alive. The real treasure of life is not in the next thing. It is in this thing, not later, not tomorrow. Now, that's what Buddhist monks know. They do not rush. They do not multitask. They walk slowly, eat slowly, speak with care. Why? Because they have understood something most of us forget. The way you do anything is the way you live your life. Let me say that again. The way you do anything is the way you live your life. So if you bring care, calm, and attention to a small act, you're training your whole life to be full of presence and peace. Now, some people say, but I don't have time to be mindful. I have a busy life, a job, a family, stress. Yes, of course. But mindfulness is not about more time. It is about more presence in the time you already have. You can bring mindfulness into brushing your teeth, walking to your car, talking to your child. You don't need to escape life. You just need to show up for it. If your mind keeps wandering, be gentle. Every time it wanders, bring it back. Not with force, with kindness. It's like training a puppy. You don't hit it. You guide it. You repeat. And slowly, the mind learns. It stops barking at every noise. It sits. It stays. That's the fruit of mindful attention. You will notice small shifts. Less stress. More clarity. More appreciation for simple things. Suddenly, washing your hands becomes peaceful. Waiting in line becomes stillness. Sitting in traffic becomes breathing space. This is the gift of mindfulness. Not something dramatic. Not something loud. Just a return to now. And when you return to now, you return to yourself. So let's walk the rest of this journey with this vow. To be here. To be aware. To be gentle. To be real. That is what it means. To focus like never before. Breath, body, and stillness. Foundations of laser focus. Sit down, not with tension, but with calm. Take a deep breath. Now slowly breathe out. Feel your body. This, right now, is the beginning of focus. Many people think focus is just about the mind. They try to control their thoughts with more thinking. But that's like trying to calm a storm by shouting at the wind. It only adds more noise. If you want to focus like never before, you must first come home to your body, to your breath, and to stillness. This is the ancient Buddhist way. Let me ask you, when was the last time you noticed your breath? Not just for a second, but for a full minute. When did you last feel your feet touching the ground? Really feel it. When did you last sit in stillness, without music, without phone, without any movement? You see, the mind is fast, but the breath is slow. The breath brings you back. The breath is now. When the breath is calm, the mind starts to listen. That's the secret. In Buddhist meditation, before anything else, we return to the breath. Not because it's magical, but because it's always there. It's the bridge between the body and the mind. So I say to you, don't chase your thoughts. Don't fight them either. Just sit, breathe, and feel. When you sit with your breath, your body relaxes. And when the body relaxes, awareness grows. This awareness is the beginning of true focus. Have you ever seen a lake early in the morning before the wind arrives? The surface is like glass. Still, clear, reflecting everything. That is the state of a focused mind, but only when the body is quiet and the breath is steady. In this modern world, everything moves fast, but your attention doesn't have to run after it. Buddha taught that by training the breath, we can train the mind. And when the mind is trained, it becomes sharp, like a sword that cuts through noise. Let's do a small practice right now. Close your eyes. Put one hand on your belly. Breathe in slowly. Feel the belly rise. Breathe out slowly. Feel the belly fall. Just this. Again. Again. No ruse. If thoughts come, it's okay. Let them pass. Don't follow. Just return to the breath. Now open your eyes. You've already begun the journey. Some of you might say, but I don't have time to sit and breathe. I will answer with this. You don't have time not to. A few moments of stillness can save you hours of distraction. This is the Buddhist way. Small actions, big impact. The body holds tension. Sometimes the tension of years. We move through life stiff, tired, distracted. But when we breathe slowly, when we sit still, the tension begins to melt. Focus returns, like sunlight through a clear window. In Buddhist temples, monks walk slowly. Each step is a meditation. Each breath is an anchor. They don't walk to reach. They walk to be. Why? Because they've discovered that focus is not just for work. Focus is for life. When you are present in your breath, even drinking tea becomes sacred. Even washing dishes becomes peaceful. This is not a dream. It's a choice. It starts with the body. It deepens with the breath. And it grows with stillness. Stillness is not laziness. Is quiet power. Is calm strength. In stillness, we don't escape life. We enter it more fully. Buddha taught that the body is a vehicle, and the breath is its driver. If the driver is wild, the journey is rough. But if the driver is calm, the journey becomes clear, smooth, and joyful. So many people try to focus through force. They clench their jaw, tighten their eyes, push harder. But true focus is not force. True focus is flow. And flow only comes from a relaxed body and steady breath. Have you ever seen a cat watching a bird? Completely still. No tensión, but fully alert. That's the kind of focus we are learning here. Sit like a mountain. Breathe like the ocean. Be like the cat. Quiet, steady, ready. Sometimes people say, my mind is too restless. I say, then your body needs to slow down. The mind follows the body. The breath is the bridge. One breath at a time. One step at a time. One moment at a time. This is how we return. Buddha's practice is not about becoming someone else. It's about coming back to yourself. And when you are truly here, not lost in the past or the future, your focus becomes unshakable. This is what the great Zen Masters knew. The path to deep focus is simple, but not always easy. That's why we practice. That's why we begin again and again. Even when you fail, return to the breath. Even when your thoughts run, return to the breath. Even when the world is loud, return to the breath. In the end, the body is your temple. The breath is your prayer. And stillness is your offering. You don't need more apps, more hacks, or more tricks. You need to pause. You need to feel. You need to be. This is how you focus like never before. Not by fighting the mind, but by befriending the breath. Not by forcing silence, but by relaxing into stillness. Not by chasing peace, but by sitting with yourself, fully, honestly, gently. The Buddha smiled, not because life was easy, but because he had learned to sit with it, completely. You can too. Silencing the inner noise, detachment through insight. Do you know what truly distracts you? It's not always the noise outside. It's the noise inside. The world is always busy. Cars honk, people talk, phones ring, notifications pop up. But the real disturbance, the real restlessness, lives in your own mind. It's that voice that never stops. The endless thoughts that keep jumping around. The memories, the worries, the desires, the judgments, the planning, the regrets, the comparisons. And they all come together to create one thing, inner noise. This noise isn't loud like traffic. It's not painful like a cut, but it's dangerous in a quiet way. It pulls your attention again and again, making you forget what really matters. It keeps you away from the present moment. It clouds your ability to focus, to think clearly, to feel peace. In Buddhism, this inner noise is often called the monkey mind. Imagine a monkey jumping from branch to branch, never sitting still. That's how our thoughts behave. One moment you think about what to eat. The next moment, you remember something someone said 5 years ago. Then you plan your future, then feel bad about the past. On and on it goes. So how do we silence this monkey mind? How do we detach from this endless noise? We don't fight it. We observe it. This is a very important teaching in Buddhism. You don't need to control every thought. You don't need to push anything away. You simply need to watch it, clearly, calmly, without judgment. Let's say a thought comes in, I'm not good enough. Instead of shouting back, or getting sad, or trying to prove it wrong, you just watch it. Oh, here's a thought. It says I'm not good enough. That's interesting. And then, you let it go. The moment you observe a thought instead of reacting to it, something magical happens. You create space. Space between you and your thought. And in that space, you find peace. You find freedom. You find focus. Let me give you an example from daily life. Imagine you're sitting by a river. Leaves are floating on the surface. Some are big, some are small. Some are dry, some are green. These leaves are like your thoughts. You don't jump into the river to chase each one. You sit on the bank. You watch them float by. That's how meditation works. You sit, breathe, and simply watch the mind. Thoughts will come. That's natural. But you don't grab them. You don't chase them. You don't run from them. You watch them and let them pass. This is detachment through insight. You see, detachment doesn't mean not caring. It doesn't mean becoming cold or distant. It means you stop over-attaching your identity to every thought or emotion. You realize, this thought is not me. This emotion is not permanent. This feeling will pass. One of the Buddha's deepest insights was about impermanence, that everything changes. Every thought, every emotion, every moment, it rises, stays for a while, then fades away. Just like clouds in the sky, just like waves in the ocean. When you understand this truth deeply, you stop panicking every time a loud thought appears. You don't get stuck. You don't get shaken. You watch, and you return to stillness. Now let's go deeper. There are many types of inner noise. Some come from craving. I want that job. I want that attention. I want that life. Some come from aversion. I hate this. I can't believe he said that. I can't take this anymore. Some come from confusion. What should I do? What if I fail? What if I regret it? These three, craving, aversion, and confusion, are called the three poisons in Buddhism, and they're the biggest sources of mental noise. The more we hold on to what we want, the louder our mind becomes. The more we resist what we don't want, the more we suffer. The more we get caught in doubts and questions, the more lost we feel. So how do we clean this mess? We apply mindful observation. We look at each thought and ask gently, where is this coming from? Is this craving? Is this resistance? Is this confusion? And then we breathe. We smile. We let pass. Focus is not about blocking everything out. It's about seeing clearly without being pulled in. You may ask, but how can I do this in real life? When I'm at work, at home, dealing with people? You start with small steps. Before you check your phone in the morning, pause. Breathe. Before you speak in anger, pause. Breathe. Before you react to a message, pause. Breathe. In that pause, your power grows. In that pause, the noise lowers. In that pause, your awareness sharpens. This is the training. Not once a week, but little by little, every day. Buddhism is not a religion of rules. It's a path of awareness. It invites you to become your own observer, to sit with your own mind, to see things as they really are. As you go deeper, you start noticing the gap between stimulus and response. Someone insults you, but you don't react immediately. You feel a craving, but you don't run to fulfill it. You feel restless, but you don't escape it with distraction. You stay, you watch, you breathe, and slowly, you become free. Free from being controlled by thoughts. Free from being pushed by emotions. Free from a noise that once felt like your whole identity. Silence is not empty. It is full of answers. And once you taste that silence, real, peaceful, alert silence, your focus becomes unshakable. Not because you try to force it, but because you let go of what distracted you. The Zen Master does not chase quiet. He removes the things that disturb it. The focused mind is not tense. It is clear, light, and alert. And that clarity comes not from effort, but from insight. So next time your mind feels loud, ask yourself, can I just sit and watch? Can I let this thought pass like a cloud? Can I return to the breath, to the body, to the now? If you can, even for a few seconds, you are walking the path. And step by step, you'll find yourself in a new space. A space where silence is natural and focus becomes effortless. That is the way of the Buddha. That is the power of detachment through insight. That is the beginning of true inner freedom. Let the noise settle. Let the mind breathe. Let your awareness shine like the moon on a still lake. And in that stillness, you will focus like never before. From scattered to centered, the Buddhist path of one-pointedness. The mind is like the sky. Sometimes it is clear and calm, other times filled with clouds and storms. When the mind is scattered, it is like many clouds floating everywhere, hiding the sun's light. The sun is your attention, your focus. When your mind is centered, the clouds part and the sun shines bright. This is the path of one-pointedness, to bring all your attention to one single point, like the sun shining steadily on a single flower. The Buddha taught that our suffering often comes because our mind is restless, jumping from thought to thought, like a monkey swinging wildly through trees. This restless mind cannot find peace, and so it brings confusion and stress. But through practice, we can calm this monkey mind. We can bring it back to one branch, one place, one point. One-pointedness means the mind is steady and concentrated. It does not jump around but stays focused like an arrow aimed directly at a target. When you practice one-pointedness, you learn to hold your attention on one thing, your breath, a sound, a thought, or a feeling. This is not easy at first. The mind wants to run everywhere. But with patience and kindness to yourself, the mind learns to settle. Think of the mind like water in a pond. When the water is stirred up by wind or animals, it becomes muddy and unclear. But when the water is still, you can see clearly to the bottom. Your thoughts become clear and calm when your mind is one-pointed. You see things as they are, without confusion. In the Buddhist path, one-pointedness is called Samadhi. It is one of the most important steps to wisdom. Without Samadhi, we cannot understand ourselves or the world deeply. It is like trying to read a book with the pages all mixed up. It is confusing and hard to follow. But with a focused mind, the story of your life becomes clear. How do you practice this? The first step is awareness. Notice when your mind is scattered. When you realize your mind is jumping, gently bring it back. Do not judge or feel bad. The mind is like a wild horse that needs gentle guidance, not harsh control. A simple way is to watch your breath. Feel the air coming in and going out. When thoughts come, notice them and let them go, like clouds passing in the sky. Return your attention to the breath. This act of returning again and again builds strength in your focus. The Zen Master often says, do not follow the monkey mind, do not fight it. Simply watch it. When it jumps, smile and guide it back. This is the path of kindness to the mind, which makes one-pointedness possible. As your practice grows, your focus becomes sharper. You start to notice small things clearly, the sound of a bird, the feeling of your feet on the ground, the taste of your food. Life becomes more alive because you are fully present. One-pointedness also helps you in daily life. When you work, you can do one task at a time with full attention. This makes your work easier and more enjoyable. When you listen to others, you hear deeply and understand better. Your relationships grow stronger. The Buddha said that the mind which is scattered is like a fire blown by the wind. It burns wildly, destroying everything in its path. But the mind which is one-pointed is like a steady flame in a calm room. It warms gently and brings light. Sometimes people think one-pointedness means emptying the mind completely. But it's not about forcing the mind to be blank. It is about focusing on one thing clearly with full awareness. You allow thoughts to come and go, but you do not get lost in them. The path is like training a muscle. At first, it is weak and tired, but with daily practice, it grows strong and flexible. Your mind learns to hold attention for longer periods without wandering. In Zen practice, this is often done through zazen, sitting meditation. Sit quietly and bring your mind to one point. This may be your breath, the feeling of your body, or simply sitting itself. When distractions come, you acknowledge them and let them pass, returning gently to your focus. This practice teaches patience. You learn not to rush or force results. Sometimes the mind will be very scattered. Other times it will be calm and clear. Both are part of the journey. One-pointedness also opens the door to deeper insight. When the mind is focused, you can see patterns in your thoughts and feelings. You notice habits, fears, and desires. With this awareness, you can begin to change what causes suffering. The Zen Master often tells his students, focus is the root of all wisdom. Without it, the mind is lost in the jungle of confusion. By practicing one-pointedness, you cut through this jungle and find a path. In daily life, distractions are everywhere. Phones, noise, worries, plans. The mind wants to chase after all of them. But through Buddhist practice, you learn to hold your attention gently. You choose what to focus on, not what forces you. This freedom is powerful. It gives you control over your mind instead of being controlled by it. You become like a calm lake that reflects the sky perfectly, no matter the weather. Remember, one-pointedness is not about being perfect. It is about being present. Sometimes your mind will stray, and that is okay. Each time you bring it back, you strengthen your focus. This path is open to everyone. You do not need special skills or a quiet place. You only need a willingness to practice moment by moment. When you train your mind this way, life changes. You see more clearly, act more wisely, and feel more peace. The noise inside slows down, and you find a deep calm. In this calm, your true nature shines. You realize that focus is not just about doing tasks, but about being fully alive to every moment. So take a breath now. Feel your body sitting here. Notice your mind and gently bring it to one point. This simple act is the beginning of deep transformation. From scattered thoughts to steady focus, the Buddhist path of one-pointedness invites you to a life of clarity, peace, and freedom. The mind is a precious gift. Train it well, and it will carry you through life with strength and grace. Daily rituals to sharpen the mind like a blade. Let me tell you something simple but powerful. A sharp blade does not stay sharp by itself. It needs care, it needs cleaning, and it needs regular sharpening. In the same way, your mind will not stay focused just because you want it to. You must create rituals, daily, small actions, that keep your mind clear and sharp, just like a sword. Now, don't be scared by the word ritual. It does not mean something big or difficult. It means something you do regularly, with intention. Even brushing your teeth can be a ritual, if you do it with awareness. Let me take you on a journey. From the moment you open your eyes in the morning, until the moment you close them at night, there are chances all around you to sharpen your focus. The morning light. When you wake up, don't rush. Just sit up and take 3 deep breaths. Feel the air moving in and out. This is not just breathing. It is waking up your mind gently, not with noise, not with phone screens, but with silence. This first ritual is simple. Before you touch your phone, sit in silence for 1 minute. Just 1 minute. In that 1 minute, you are telling your mind, today, I am the master. You're not going to run wild like a monkey. You will follow me. That is the first sharpening, the water ritual. Next, when you wash your face or take a bath, don't let it be automatic. Feel the water. Let it refresh your skin. Let it wash away sleep, but also let it wash away the mental fog. You can say to yourself, I wash not just my face, but my thoughts. Use water like the old monks used it, not just for the body, but for mental cleansing. This tiny ritual makes a big difference. You begin the day fresh, not just clean, but clear. The food focus. Now comes breakfast. This is where most people lose awareness. They eat while scrolling, while watching, while thinking. But if you want focus like never before, you must turn food into a meditation. The Buddha taught mindful eating. Chew slowly. Taste your food. Put your spoon down between bites. Say this in your mind. This food is energy. I respect it. I receive it with full attention. This simple act grounds your mind. You're training yourself to be here. This is sharpening. The silent 5 minutes. Before your day begins, whether it's work, study, or travel, take 5 minutes. Just 5. Sit. Breathe. Do nothing else. This is not wasting time. This is preparing your blade. Even 5 minutes of quiet sitting will make your day calmer. Your mind will feel different. Thoughts will not rush so fast. You will respond to life instead of reacting. Walking like a monk. If you walk, even just from one room to another, try this. Walk slowly. Feel each step. Say in your mind, I am here. I am moving, but my mind is still. This is a walking meditation. You don't need to wear robes or live in a forest. You can walk like a monk in your own home, office, or street. Just try it. You'll feel it. Your attention becomes laser sharp. You notice sounds, smells, colors. You return to the now. This is the sharpening that nobody teaches in school. Digital mindfulness. Now comes the challenge. Your phone, your laptop, your screens. Here is a ritual. Before using any device, pause for 3 seconds. Ask yourself, what am I about to do? This small question builds a wall between you and distractions. Instead of opening 10 apps mindlessly, you open one mindfully. You are not escaping technology. You are mastering it. This is modern focus, born from ancient wisdom. The breath reminder. Set a timer. Every 2 hours, take a deep breath. Just one. Inhale slowly. Exhale completely. That's it. But that one breath is a return to the center. It reminds you, you are not a machine. You are a being. You can pause. You can breathe. Even a single breath can be a sharpening stroke for your mental blade. Single tasking ritual. When doing a task, say this out loud or in your mind. I will do only this. And then do only that. No music. No screeching. No dubs. Just that one task. This is the opposite of multitasking, which dulls your mind like a blade hitting stone. But single tasking, this is like polishing. Your thoughts align. Your energy flows in one direction. You finish faster with more clarity. Tea like a monk. In the middle of the day, take a break. Make tea or coffee. But don't drink it while working. Make it a ritual. Pour the water slowly. Listen to the bubbles. Feel the warmth of the cup in your hands. Sip it slowly. No phone. No noise. This is not just tea. This is presence. This is sharpening. Even 5 minutes of such a ritual can refresh your entire afternoon. Evening reflection. As the sun goes down, take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself, what did I give my attention to today? Did I live with focus or with fog? No judgment. Just observe. This is a powerful ritual. You become your own teacher. You learn from your day. And tomorrow, you improve. Even the Buddha said, look within. You are the light. Night silence. Before sleeping, do one thing. Silence. Sit in bed for 1 minute. No screen. No sound. Breathe deeply. Let the body relax. Let the thoughts settle. Say, today is complete. I return to stillness. This is not just a sleep routine. This is the sharpening before rest. A focused mind sleeps deeper, and a deep sleep sharpens focus for the next day. A life of rituals, a life of focus. You see, my friend, focus is not a mountain you climb once. It is a garden you tend every day. These daily rituals, morning silence, mindful eating, digital awareness, walking meditation, tea breaks, breath reminders, they're not extra things. They're the path. You don't need hours. You need intention. You don't need to be perfect. You need to return. Every ritual is a return to yourself, to this moment, to presence. This is the way of the Zen mind. Not through force, but through rhythm. Not through pressure, but through presence. Start small. Choose one ritual today. Just one. Do it with heart. And tomorrow, do it again. Over time, your mind becomes sharp. Not stressed, not tight, but sharp and peaceful. And that is the true meaning of focus like never before. What the Buddha taught on Samadhi and deep absorption. Sit quietly now. Let the world fall into silence. You are here, and only this moment exists. Today, I will tell you what the Buddha really taught about Samadhi, the deep, clear, and powerful state of focus. Not the kind of focus you force, not the kind you chase, but the kind that gently arises when the mind is calm, still, and deeply aware. Let me begin by saying this. The mind is like water. When it's still, it reflects everything perfectly. But when it's disturbed, you see nothing clearly. The Buddha realized this long ago. He did not teach Samadhi as something special or secret. He taught it as a natural state of the mind, a mind trained in the art of stillness and attention, not distracted, not pulled by every little thought, but settled like a lake without ripples. Samadhi is not about doing. It is about being so present, so still, that everything else fades, and only the moment remains. The Buddha described it like this. When a person enters Samadhi, their mind becomes unified. Not many minds, not many thoughts, just one pointed awareness. Steady, silent, alive. How do we enter this state? The Buddha gave us the steps. Not complex, not magical, just clear and human. First, he taught sila, morality. Why? Because a restless conscience cannot sit still. If your heart is full of guilt, fear, or regret, your mind will never rest. So first, live rightly. Speak gently. Harm no one. Let your life be calm, and your mind will start to follow. Then comes Samadhi, the training of the mind. This begins with mindfulness. Watching the breath, watching the body, watching thoughts without clinging. You sit, breathe, and observe. That's it. At first, the mind resists. It runs. It shouts. It brings up memories, dreams, worries, and plans. But slowly, gently, with practice, it begins to settle. Now, listen carefully. When a mind no longer jumps from one thing to another, it starts to sink deeper. This is the doorway to jhana, deep meditative absorption. The Buddha spoke of 4 jhanas. These are not fantasies or mystical places. They are levels of deepening stillness and awareness. In the first jhana, the mind is focused, but there's still effort. You're holding attention, but gently. You feel joy. You feel peace. The chatter has calmed. The body feels light. In the second jhana, effort drops. You no longer try to hold focus. Your focus. Joy becomes even deeper. The mind is quiet, but alert. In the third jhana, even the excitement of joy fades. You feel content, calm, and open. Nothing pulls you. Nothing pushes you. Then in the fourth jhana, silence, stillness, equanimity. No more highs and lows. Just pure, balanced awareness. This, the Buddha said, is the heart of Samadhi. It's not about escaping life. It's about seeing life clearly without noise. Now, many people think focus means straining, trying hard, forcing attention. But the Buddha warned against this. He taught middle path, not too tight, not too loose. If you hold the mind too tight, it breaks. If you're too loose, it drifts. So you sit, watch the breath, and let go. Not to fall asleep, but to wake up. This waking up, this bright, still mind, is the treasure. In this state, you don't just concentrate. You become concentration. You don't look at the flower. You and the flower are one in seeing. You don't hear the sound. You and the sound are one in listening. This is why Samadhi is not doing something extra. It's returning to what is already there, under all the noise. One monk once asked the Buddha, "Is Samadhi the goal?" The Buddha smiled. He said Samadhi is the bridge to insight, the bridge to wisdom, the bridge to peace. Why? Because when the mind is deeply still, you see clearly. You see that all things rise and fall, that nothing stays, that chasing is suffering, that clinging brings pain. In Samadhi, you don't think this, you see it. You don't read about impermanence. You feel in your breath, your bones, your being. You see that your thoughts are just clouds, your emotions just waves. They come, they go, but awareness, that quiet, still witness, remains. This awareness, this silence, is where freedom begins. So now you see, Samadhi is not just about focus. It's about freedom. Freedom from noise. Freedom from chasing. Freedom from the mind's endless hunger. And yet, it begins with something so simple. Sit, breathe, watch, let go. Don't try to reach the fourth jhana in a day. Don't try to achieve Samadhi like a trophy. Instead, water the seeds daily. Every time you return to the breath, you are walking toward it. Every time you choose presence over distraction, you're moving closer. Even when the mind wanders and you gently bring it back, that is practice. That is progress. The Buddha never promised quick results. He promised clarity to those who are patient. So be patient. Be kind to your mind. It's been pulled in all directions for years. Let come home. Let rest. In the deep stillness of Samadhi, the world slows down. The heart softens. The truth shines. This is what the Buddha taught. Not to add more, but to let go. Not to become something new, but to return to what you truly are. Still, aware, free. Now breathe in and begin again, guarding the sense doors. How to stay focused in a loud world. Sit down, breathe gently, and listen with care. The world is noisy, child. Not only outside, in the markets, on your phone, in your ears, but also inside, in your thoughts, in your desires, in your memories. You try to focus, yes, but something always pulls you. A sound, a message, a thought. Why does this happen? In the teachings of the Buddha, there is something called guarding the sense doors. It may sound strange, but let me explain. We humans, we take in the world through 6 doors. Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. These are the doors through which the world enters. And the more these doors are wide open, the more noise comes in. When you try to focus, you are not fighting just one thing. You're trying to stop a storm entering from 6 directions at once. Now listen closely. Not everything that comes through these doors is bad. But if you are not mindful, if you're not awake, then everything becomes a distraction. Let's begin with the eyes. You look at one thing, a task, but your eyes quickly want something new. You open your device to read, but then your eyes jump to a notification, to a picture, to a video. It feels harmless. But each time your attention breaks, your inner stillness breaks with it. Guarding the eyes doesn't mean you close them all the time. It means you choose what you allow in. Ask yourself, is this worth my attention? Is this helping my focus? Or is it pulling me away? Now the ears. Sound is powerful. Even when you're not looking, you're still hearing. Music, gossip, traffic, notifications. Your ears catch everything. And your mind reacts. One small sound could drag your attention far away from the present. Guarding the ears means choosing silence sometimes. Yes, silence. Can you sit in a room without music? Without scrolling? Without something playing in the background? Try it. In that silence, your mind will first feel restless. But soon, you'll see. Your focus deepens. The nose, tongue, and body are also doors. Smell a favorite food, and your mind starts chasing it. Taste something sweet, and you want more. Feel heat or cold, and your attention runs there. Your body is full of feelings. Sometimes you feel sleepy, sometimes itchy, sometimes restless, and each feeling calls for your attention, even when you don't want to give it. To guard the body means to notice these sensations, but not follow them. Yes, this takes practice, but you don't have to react to everything your body feels. You can simply notice and return to your focus. And now, the biggest door of them all, the mind. The mind creates stories, dreams, fears, plans. Sometimes while sitting quietly, you go through a whole movie inside your head. Yes, you know this. The mind doesn't need any outside noise. It creates its own. So guarding the mind means to be aware of the stories it tells. To watch the thoughts rise and not jump into them. Just observe like clouds floating in the sky. Now, why is all this important? Because every time one of these doors is unguarded, your attention leaks. Like a pot with holes, no matter how much water you pour in, it can never be full. In the same way, no matter how much effort you put into focus, if your sense doors are open to distractions, your energy will leak. A Zen Master once told his student, "Your eyes look too much. Your ears hear too much. Your tongue speaks too much. No wonder your mind cannot rest." And the student asked, "Then should I live like a stone?" The master smiled and said, "No, live like a mirror. Reflect only what is needed. Let go of the rest." So how do you guard these sense doors in your daily life? Let me share some ways. Simple but powerful. Limit your inputs. Every morning, don't check your phone first. Let the first thing you meet be your breath, not a screen. Start the day with silence. Even 5 minutes is enough. Control your environment. Work in a place that supports focus. Remove noise. Turn off unnecessary alerts. Keep your space clean. Chaos around creates chaos within. Be selective. Be mindful of what you watch, hear, read. Every video, every message, every conversation leave a mark on your mind. Choose what helps you grow, not what pulls you down. Observe your reactions. When you feel pulled towards something, a sound, a craving, a thought, pause. Just for a moment. Ask, do I need this? Or is this just a habit? Practice mindfulness. Walk slowly. Eat slowly. Listen fully. Bring your awareness back to the now. Each moment you are fully present is a moment of focus. You see, guarding the sense doors is not about cutting yourself off from the world. It's about being the master of your attention, not letting your senses pull you around like a puppet. You can enjoy life fully, but consciously. In Buddhism, this practice is called Indriya Samvara, restraint of the senses. It doesn't mean suppression. It means wise use. You are not here to become blind or deaf. You are here to be awake. There's a deep peace that comes when you stop being controlled by every sight, sound, and sensation. You become still, strong, focused. Your mind becomes like a clear lake, not stirred by every wind. And when that happens, you don't just focus better, you live better. So, remember this lesson well. Your focus is not just about your mind. It's about what you allow in. It's about how you meet the world through your senses. Close the doors that bring noise. Open the door that brings wisdom. That door is within you, and it opens only when you begin to guard the others. Now go quietly, mindfully, and begin. Focus compassion, channeling attention for good. Sit down, breathe. Just for a moment, leave everything behind. Now listen carefully. You have been learning how to focus, how to bring your mind to one point, how to tame your attention and hold it still. But let me ask you something. What are you using that focus for? Is it just to finish a task? To win something? To chase success? Or can focus be something higher? Can it become compassion? Yes, it can. Let me tell you something the Buddha discovered. The sharpest mind means nothing if it's not rooted in kindness. The power of focus becomes dangerous if it's not connected to the heart. But when your attention is guided by love, care, and clarity, it becomes a medicine, not a weapon. Let me tell you a story. There once lived a monk in a quiet forest monastery. He was calm, silent, and deeply focused. Every day, he would meditate from sunrise to sunset. People believed he was enlightened. But one day, a little bird with a broken wing landed near him. The monk saw it, but he did not move. He thought, I must not break my meditation. So he closed his eyes again. The next morning, the bird was dead. The monk felt a strange pain in his heart. A voice inside whispered, you are focused, but you are not awake. This story may seem simple, but the lesson is deep. Real focus is not ignoring the world. It's responding to it with your whole being. Now let me show you how to do this. Step 1. Bring attention to others. Often, we are busy focusing on ourselves. Our goals, our problems, our plans. But compassion begins when we pause that self-centered spotlight and turn it gently toward others. When someone speaks, truly listen. When someone struggles, truly notice. That is attention. That is presence. And that is love. The Buddha once said, to be attentive is to love. So when you train your mind to stay still, don't make it cold. Make it warm. Let your silence hold space for others. Step 2. Practice compassionate observation. There's a beautiful Buddhist practice called karuna bhavana, the cultivation of compassion. It's simple. You sit quietly, breathe slowly, and imagine someone in pain, maybe a friend, maybe a stranger. You hold them in your mind, not with fear, not with judgment, just with care. You let your mind rest on them like a gentle light. You think, may you be free from pain. May you be at peace. May you feel love. And you do this again and again, just like lifting a weight. You're training your focus not to chase thoughts, but to stay with someone else's suffering and soften it with your presence. That is the seed of awakened compassion. Step 3. Notice what you normally ignore. We are often so busy that we don't notice people who serve us. The waiter, the janitor, the old man crossing the road, the mother calming her crying child. True focus means seeing them fully, not looking past them, not rushing by, but observing them like you would observe a flower with gentle attention. This is the beginning of wisdom, because in Buddhism, there is no small life or big life. There's only life, and every life is worthy of your attention. Step 4. Let go of judging. When your focus becomes compassionate, it stops judging everything. This is very important. Most minds are busy labeling. This person is lazy. That person is rude. He's smart. She's annoying. But these labels blind you. They create distance. They cut off connection. Instead, just observe. Don't label. Don't react. Just be present. Let your attention become soft like water, flowing without resistance, touching everything without force. In this way, you begin to understand others deeply. You feel what they feel. And this is the doorway to empathy, the heart of Buddhist practice. Step 5. serve with silence. Compassion does not need loud words. Sometimes the most focused and loving thing you can do is sit beside someone in silence. You don't need to fix everything. You just need to be there. A Zen saying goes, don't just do something, sit there. Your focused presence is more powerful than 1,000 clever words. When you give someone your full attention, without checking your phone, without thinking about yourself, you are giving them the greatest gift, your life's energy. That energy heals. That energy connects. That energy is rare in today's distracted world. Step 6. Transform pain into compassion. Everyone has pain, even you. But here's the secret. The pain you felt, the heartbreak, the loneliness, the failure, it can become fuel for compassion. Why? Because once you've suffered, you understand suffering. So don't run from your pain. Sit with it. Learn from it. And then use it to hold others more gently. When your focus touches your own wounds with kindness, it naturally extends that same kindness to others. The Buddha suffered too. That's why he could guide others through it. He can do the same. Step 7. Make compassion a habit. Compassion is not a one-time feeling. It is a practice, a habit. Each morning, wake up and ask yourself, who needs my focus today? Maybe it's your child. Maybe it's your parent. Maybe it's yourself. Throughout the day, bring your full attention to at least one moment of kindness. It could be a smile, a deep breath, a silent prayer for someone in pain. That's how you build a life of compassionate focus, moment by moment, breath by breath. Final thought. Let me tell you the truth, the deep truth of Zen. You don't need to be a monk. You don't need to be perfect. You only need to be fully here and fully kind. Use your focus like a candle, not just to see clearly, but to warm others. Because in the end, it's not how sharp your mind is, but how soft your heart becomes. This is the path. This is the practice. This is the way. Now, close your eyes and offer one silent, focused breath to someone you love. Let's begin there. So you have come this far. You have listened, watched, reflected, and practiced. You walked through distractions, tamed the restless mind, and found your breath again. And now, here you are, at the end of the path we walked together. Or maybe this is not an end, but a beautiful beginning. Let me tell you something very clearly. True focus is not just about concentrating on one task. It is about living with awareness in every breath, in every moment. It's about knowing where your attention is, where your energy is going, and what kind of life you're creating from that. The Buddha never said, be busy. He said, be awake. When your focus is real, your mind is like a calm lake. You begin to see things as they are. The past loses its chains. The future loses its fear. You are no longer dragged around by emotions, desires, and worries. Instead, you are present like a strong mountain. Still, clear, quiet. That is where wisdom begins to rise. Let's remember, focus is not force. It is not about pushing the mind hard. It is about gently guiding it back, again and again, like a mother guiding a curious child. The more you return to now, the stronger your attention becomes. The more you return to now, the deeper your clarity becomes. Some people spend their whole life outside themselves, chasing noise, running after approval, distracted by 100 things. But you, my dear listener, have chosen a different path. You have chosen to come home, to your breath, your being, your center. So what now? You've learned how the breath brings you back. You've learned how silence strengthens your mind. You've learned how to protect your focus from distractions. You've learned that attention is energy, and where it goes, life grows. Now it is time to move beyond the technique and enter the field of clarity. The place where you don't need to constantly remind yourself to focus, because presence becomes natural. Where your body is relaxed, but your mind is alert. Where you no longer fight the noise, you simply don't feed it. Buddhism calls this Samadhi, a still, balanced state where the mind is gathered into one. It is not a magic moment. It is not rare. It is available every day when you choose silence over noise, attention over reaction, awareness over autopilot. In this state, even washing your hands becomes meditation. Even sipping tea becomes a sacred act. You don't need incense or a cave or special music. You just need this moment and your complete attention inside it. Many people ask, Zen Master, how do I keep this state always? And I say, you don't keep it. You return to it again and again. Even the best archer misses the target sometimes. But he does not quit. He simply steadies his hands, controls his breath, and aims again. Let your life be like that. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for presence. The world around you will still be noisy. Social media will still try to steal your time. People will still interrupt. The phone will still ring. But now you are no longer a victim. You are aware. You know how to pause. You know how to return. And that is your power. Focus is not about isolating yourself. It's about bringing your whole self into this moment. Whether you're working, walking, cooking, or talking, let your mind be there fully. This is how wisdom arises. Slowly, silently, steadily. Let me leave you with a story. There was a young monk who asked his teacher, Master, what is enlightenment? The master smiled and said, When I eat, I eat. When I walk, I walk. When I sleep, I sleep. The monk was confused. But don't we all do that? The master replied, No. When you eat, your mind is somewhere else. When you walk, you're thinking of tomorrow. When you sleep, your mind is still running. But I am completely here, in every act. That is the difference. Dear friend, if you can bring your full attention into your daily life, even the simplest moment becomes sacred. That is the heart of Buddhist focus, to live completely awake in the ordinary. Don't wait for the right time. Don't wait for the perfect silence. The moment is already perfect. Right here, right now. Just bring your awareness to it. And when you forget, don't feel guilty. To smile gently and come back. That is the path. That is the secret. And now one final reminder. There are so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% of viewers actually subscribe. So if this series has helped you even a little, if it made you breathe deeper, if it gave you a new insight, if it made you feel calmer, lighter, or more present, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel, Wisdom Woven. It helps us reach more people who may also be silently struggling with focus, anxiety, or restlessness. This is not the end. This is a doorway. Keep walking. Keep breathing. Keep returning. Let your life be filled with quiet power, deep presence, and unshakable focus.